What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video going to be going over the trades we end up taking today inside the Discord, as was the plan going into tomorrow. So going into today, market was neutral. You guys can see where we opened. We end up opening all the way down in here. Where's the open at? Right down in where? Right down in here. 10's below the 50 off the open. We were neutral. Wasn't really looking to take anything until we ended up breaking out of the range we were in. On ES here, told you guys this yesterday. I did go and change the fib, so adjustment to the fibs. We are now using 127.2, 141.5 instead of the 123.6 and what was the other one? I think 132 maybe, something like that. So adjusting these levels to what these are now. But yeah, I was looking for the range break. So I mean, it didn't really matter. 65.83, 66.76 is the range we were playing and looking for a break, and we ended up getting a break of it in the afternoon here after 1 o'clock. And you guys can see what actually ended up happening on the 30-minute later in the day. What happened? 10's above the 50 here. We finally flipped bearish here on the 30-minute. So what does that mean? We are only focused on shorts. So 30-minute chart is bearish, ES chart is bearish. We're in shorting the rip mode because we broke out of the range to the downside. Since we broke out of the range to the downside, we are leaving the fibs as they are. Like I said yesterday, if we broke out higher, you would have ended up changing the pivots on the fibs and flipped to 0 and 100%. But since we broke lower, fibs stay as they are. The 100% is on the bottom when we're in shorting the rip mode. That's how it works. So yeah, I mean, there really wasn't anything to take like today. If we look here on ES, I told you guys I was not going to be playing this range at all. If you wanted to, sure. I mean, hindsight, this ended up working out here. This fib right here off the open ended up giving the bottom 83 all the way to 22. Did give a really nice relief bounce. It wasn't really something I was looking to play though, because we're just been stuck in this range here. We hit the top, we hit the bottom. I'm just waiting for it to break, and then from there, that's where we'll get more like high conviction plays. So unfortunately today there was no retest of the fib here. The closest we got was like 10 points away. That's not anywhere near what I'd want to play like a retest on. So unfortunately there was no entry off the fib, and then we had this massive like candle here end of the day, which I think is something Trump ended up saying that ripped us. But you guys can see we ended up rejecting that level to a T, but that doesn't even matter. No one's taking that. Wouldn't even make sense to take that off a news candle. So yeah, we didn't get any entries today off the fibs. I didn't really pay attention too much to the 0DT chart. I think puts ended up getting some sort of cross and reclaim at some point here. Yeah, so I know this was very funky. I didn't see this real time, so I'm not I didn't see this real time, so I'm not exactly sure what the 50 ended up looking like. We had this massive candle here that ended up crossing us. Then we lost the 50, crossed back, and very, very weird candles here. I didn't take anything in this area. I wasn't even on the chart at this time. I was just kind of waiting to see the range break. I just kind of stepped away from the charts. And then right here, obviously, I mean, this is like too choppy to even, I wouldn't even consider this a trade because there's really nothing to take. When you see these kind of wicks, look at this. We had how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like very wicky candles out of like what, like 8 of them, 9 of them. So like at that point, it's not even worth taking anything once you see that. So I really wouldn't even consider this a trade to take right here. But yeah, that's kind of what the day looked like. I mean, then it got very clean after we got this candle here at 12:15. But in my opinion, nothing to take off of there. We were still sitting at this fib level. Could have just easily ended up bouncing out the fib and crossing negative on the 5-minute. But yeah, we ended up breaking below the fib. Going into tomorrow, what am I going to be looking for? So since we are in shorting the rip mode, we're looking for shorts. Super simple concept here. So we end up closing back above the 65.35 level. Ideally, we get the 65.83 short. That will probably line up perfectly with this 30-minute 50. If we get a pullback to this 50, I'd imagine that lines up with the fib. So that's what I'm going to be looking for to take. It's a really, really good trade. 30-minute 50 as confluence, the fib level as confluence. Really good short setup if we get that tomorrow. And also, look at the higher time frames here. These do look pretty bearish. 1 hour chart, 50's up hard, 10's up hard. Didn't cross yet, but still, we kind of broke through all these resistances. 1 hour or 2 hour chart, 50's up, 10's up, didn't cross yet. 4 hour chart, reclaimed the 10 and the 50 SMA. Very, very bearish there. So everything's kind of pointing lower. And I told you guys yesterday, when it came to the monthly contracts, what was the bigger picture outlook? It was bearish. If we pulled the monthly contracts up real quick, the April cons, this gives you the bigger picture outlook. Only use the 4-hour and the daily chart for this chart here. And let's see, where did the monthly chart go? I think it's this one. Yeah, April. So if we go to the 4-hour, look at this 4-hour chart, 50 SMA, massive spot. You guys can see every single time we dipped into it, it provided some sort of bounce off of it, like very aggressive bounce. And then if we go to the daily here, cross on the daily, this is acting at that 50 is acting as major support. Reclaim the 10 today. So if we did go lower tomorrow, wouldn't be surprised at all. So that's kind of why I want to be looking for shorts tomorrow. I mean, everything is just pointing lower. Monthly charts bearish. We have the weekly cons crossing bearish on the 30-minute. The higher time frames may end up crossing. I mean, we broke through all the resistances on those time frames. 1 hour, 2 hour. We're back above the 4-hour. And tomorrow, if we just get some sort of short setup, that'll be like an A+ setup that I'm going to be wanting to take. So that's pretty much the game plan going into tomorrow. It has been like a super slow week. I mean, we took 2 trades on Monday, 0 for 2, and that was it for the week. I didn't take anything else yet, and tomorrow's Friday. So just being patient with the trades, looking for high quality setups, and yeah, I mean, that's really all you can do. So that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub, join the Court if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.